Trek Checkpoint SL5, 300 miles I've done with this bike. This is a 2021 Trek Checkpoint SL5. So let me tell you what we've done. Basically, my wife, should shout out to her. She pulls the kids. She's actually out there playing right now. And we got two kids. She pulls it on a Burley trailer. And we go and do 40, 50, 60 miles. And then I haul all the food and all the water. And we don't eat junk food. We carry, for example, grapefruit, watermelons, pecans, all kinds of seeds, dates, all kinds of healthy stuff that gives us energy. But let me go back to the Trek Checkpoint SL5 2021 version and what I did with my bike. Now, one of the cool things about this bike that makes it really, really comfortable is that it has this, they call it the IsoSpeed, and basically what it does is like a suspension system without a suspension system, a clever way that, it takes the bumps, it takes the buzz out, it takes the when you're riding on something. I don't know if you've ever rolled on steel or aluminum, you hit, let's say, a bunch of wood or something, you're like, okay, that takes that out. Okay, so now that's one of the cool features. Another cool feature about this bike is that I talked about in my other video, I really like it, is you're able to just screw this and it allows it to go back and forth adjustment, so it's not going to go up and down. And on the other side, there's another screw, and then you can adjust the tilt, which is a very amazing idea. Because if you ever move your saddle, you know how pain it is to not get it moved a lot. I normally ride a Brook seat. I ordered mine because the first few days I rode with this bike, I hated it. But now I'm getting used to the seat. I think it's a pretty good seat. It's like I would rank it #2 seat right underneath Brook seat. One of the advantages of this seat versus a Brook seat is that I don't have to take care of it and I can go into the rain and stuff like that, where a Brook seat needs a lot of maintenance, okay? Now, one of the other things that I do different than other people that ride bikes is I carry these nice aluminum water coolers. One in there right now, and this one I have my organic coconut, not from concentrate with ice, and instead of drinking, for example, Gatorade and stuff like that, it has so high fake sugars and fake sodium, high in sodium. This is naturally made, and it's low in sodium, it's low on sugar, but it has exactly what you need when you ride bikes. And I put that on ice, and on long drives, man, ice is like gold, right? And the other one, I have my hot tea, and that'll last me 7 to 8 hours hot. So that's what I like about carrying those versus the plastic ones, right? One of the cool things that I've done is that, I don't know if you guys can see, I mounted my computer right there. So when I'm riding, I just got a quick, I don't even have to move my head down because just my eyeballs down, because my hands are already there, and to the miles and how much faster I'm going, etc. like that. Okay. I've also mounted, that's my spare light. This is my main light. And on the bottom, one of the reasons I did that is because when I have it on the handlebar, A, I don't like anything on the handlebar, and B, the bugs and the flies hit me in the face, right? Where if I have it on the bottom, all the bugs go towards the light and it's away from my face, right? Now, these bags are just amazing. This is not sponsored. This is just I spend my own money on this stuff. But the reason I bought this is my second set is because I bought a yellow one back in 2016. I did a lot of stuff with it, and they lasted still like new. So I said, let me get some black ones. So I bought the black ones, and we still have the yellow ones. Okay, but this one's so cool because the front one is what I call, if I can explain, like a glove department. Like you're going on a trip, the glove department is a lot easier to get to versus your suitcase, because whatever you have in here is just pain in the butt to open up and get into, even though it's pretty simple. But constantly getting into that and digging for stuff kind of sucks, right? Now, it does have hydraulic disc brakes. These are GRX. The other thing what I do is I put my pump at the bottom right here, and I got a huge pump. And one of the advantages with this one is that it does have a gauge, and it does have that valve, which allows me to have the flexibility of pumping some air into it without messing up my stem, because I broke a couple of tubes like that. And I also have this really cool looking, I don't know if you guys can see, pedal. Let me see if I can bring it in there. Spikes, they're really cool. I have some dual clips, but I changed it for these because they kind of slip out of my foot, and I don't like to be pegged in. Believe it or not, if you don't have it fully accurate, you damage a lot of knee cartilage, and you know, great way to have surgery. All right, and you know, I got my little handy light in the bag. Okay, so I got the two orderly bags, and what this is for, you know, when I run to the store or something, I can just lock it up to my frame and tires, so someone can just roll with it. It's not a great, you know, safety vlog, but it's like a quick 2 minutes, 3 minutes thing where you just run into the store real quick, get some ice or hot water or whatever. You know, you still see your bike, but you don't want to roll off with it. It doesn't have a kickstand because it's carbon fiber. You know, the rack is pretty cool. It's very light. It's a Axon. I've been happy with it. I actually took it off my other bike because I was very happy with it. Put it on here, and then in this bag, very cool. And I think these things will last a long time. So that's why I invested in them. They are kind of expensive, but you know, they're not one of those marketing expensive where it's just gimmicky and they just take your money and they give you poor quality. Okay, and so this is my derailleur. It does have the, you know, on and off clutch system, so if I'm going off-roading, the chain doesn't smack in. Okay, it is an 11 speed. I know it's kind of hard to get into that. One of the other cool things is, you know, if you can move this forward and backward, and what that does is make the bike more nimble or more stable. I have it in the back because I don't really go fast. I just like we just load a lot of stuff, right? And we do excursions and take your kids to the park and just do some miles, guys, on trails. Okay, pretty much try to do it every day. Try to convince my wife because she's the one that has to work really hard. Okay, I'm actually pulling a lot of weight in here myself. I can't tell you how much it is, but you know, it's pretty heavy. I would say one of these bags are at least like 30 pounds, 36 pounds each. Okay, if not more. Okay, now my handy, if you notice, is very thin. I don't even like it being here. I'm thinking of taking it off, but this is the only one I can find that was very thin. It was a little pricey. Okay, my GoPro on the top, which, you know, thanks to my brother, he gave it to me as a gift, so thank him. And again, very happy with this. Now let's go talk about the bike. Okay, I've now done 300 miles with it, actually more, but this is a 300-mile review, and I think, man, damn, I should have bought this bike sooner. Like I'm thinking, man, why did I go with some of the old technology bikes that I had before? Like, you know, I had like old touring bikes, or you know, that were made out of steel. Even though they were great bikes, right, amazing bikes and give me great memories, it just wasn't, you know, 2021 technology, which just says fiber carbon. It has, you know, suspension, you know, and it absorbs the shocks really good. You know, the way you get beat up on steel, it doesn't have that feeling to it, right? And yes, it was expensive. I spent $3,500. That's $3,500 cash for it. But you know, it just depends on how much you use it. For me, you know, I'm doing like 40 miles, 50 miles, multiple times a week on the bike. You know, if my family's doesn't want to roll, I just roll with myself, right? So it made a lot of sense for me. So my thing was, I wish I would have bought it earlier, right? And I'm very impressed by this. Now, how impressed am I by this Trek Checkpoint 2021 SL5? Well, I was so impressed that I was about to go buy the Money, and I took up another $3,500, and I went to the store to buy it. The only store that had it in my area, but those people didn't have their stuff together, and you know, they were kind of like blowing me off, and I was ready to buy the bike. So I ended up saying, you know what, maybe this is an omen that I shouldn't buy it right now, okay? Because they were the only store that had it, unless I wanted to drive like 10, 20 hours to go to a different state or multiple states to get it, and I didn't want to do that. So I said, you know what, this is an omen. Later on, great things will happen, and I'll get another bike. Okay, but this is how impressed I was. Now the reason I wanted to get the Damani is because I wanted to get the ISO in the Damani system, and I also wanted to get the endurance geometry because this is a little bit more aggressive. And again, I'm not driving aggressive. Like what I do is excursions, and the only problem with the Damani for me, not for other people, is that I like to carry cargo, and I cannot put racks on the carbon fiber. The aluminum versions you can, but not on the carbon fiber. Where on the Checkpoint, you could put that on there. And you know, again, 10 out of 10 times that I go out, I carry, you know, stuff with me. If it's my laptop, but usually just a bunch of food and, you know, my iPad. That's why I went with the Checkpoint. But then, you know, then I thought to myself, this is such a great bike. Let me buy the Damani. Even though I don't like the speed, I just wanted to get the front suspension system and more relaxed geometry. And I went to the store, but again, I didn't buy it because, you know, they were very, very poor in service. And it wasn't a Trek-owned store. It was just a small family-owned. And they had a lot of inventory what no one else had. But I guess they weren't selling them because they had poor service. Other people thought the same thing. So this is a beautiful bike. Would I buy it again? Absolutely. Again, I said I was going to buy the Damani, if I'm not mistaken, the other gravel bike they have that has endurance geometry. So Track didn't pay me for this. I bought this bike with my own money. Like I said before, it's a beautiful bike. I would say it's one of the best bikes I've ever owned. Okay, and I've owned many different bikes, but I've never paid that much money for a bicycle. I don't think that's even that much money. I've seen other bikes more expensive, but you know, $3,500 is kind of expensive, but I do, you know, think it's worth it. Okay, the color that I got, I believe, was like navel. They didn't have any other color at this current time. Everything's sold out because of what's happening with the bug and the free checks that are going out. Okay. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, please click the like button. I really appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts. If you have a Checkpoint, what bike do you think I should buy next? All right. Peace.